Hey guys, welcome back to Hustlin' Horsepower. With the help of Lady Gangster, MVP, Sexy Rexy, we got Straight Gangster back together and headed to Columbus, Ohio for the Uncaged event. There was 96 cars in small tier racing for $25,000. We didn't necessarily have the best weekend, but hey, we still enjoyed the company, the fans, and the overall race. Difficult. The COVID stuff is still real, or at least the COVID excuses from companies are still real. I want to get all those pieces together and go down, find a track that I could do some testing on the front side and testing on the back side, so that we could come out here and we could start hitting it hard, and we could have all of our pieces in line and have a good tow rig and everything like that to travel with. So guys, I appreciate all of you that like and subscribe to the journey, follow along. I got an engine build coming up here probably early next week. Those videos will start coming out. We're gonna order up some stuff from Tin Soldiers Race Cars. I'll be doing that to Straight Gangster as well. And yeah, we're gonna be getting after it here pretty soon as far as getting the car back up to snuff and figuring out what I gotta do, whether it's a living quarters trailer and the spool bus, or a stacker trailer again, and that would include the prison bus conversion. So we'll see what happens here. It's gonna be busy like always, but it might just not be a whole lot of racing over the next month or so, but we'll see. I love racing. I want to race. We got a good car, but I got to have all my ducks in line as far as parts and spare parts to be able to go out there and compete at the highest level, since generally speaking, third and fourth place don't get much of anything. So guys, we appreciate it. Catch y'all soon. Well guys, filling up the CO2 tank. We went and made a couple 330 hits at Hustlin' Horsepower Raceway with nothing other but Straight Gangster. Lady Gangsters.
Carrying crankshafts.
She's carrying crankshafts. She's storing some crankshafts because this trailer is entirely way too small for us. And if we're going to keep doing this stuff for a little while, we got to get rid of it, because we literally have almost no merchandise in here. It's almost all in the prison bus. But there's 15 pounds of stuff in this trailer here, and it's like a 2-pound bag in comparison to what we used to have with the stacker, where everything could be organized. And I let someone borrow my jack recently, so that's broke. We don't even have a jack to go racing with anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't even jack up no more. So we'll probably have to borrow that too. But I did fix the generator.
What about the mini bike? I found the parts for the mini bike.
You got the parts for the mini bike. We might have a pit bike for Smiley Miley to bomb around in tomorrow. But it is, what time is it? 11 o'clock at night? 10:30 at night? And we're getting ready to load up the trailer. Maybe have some s'mores with the bonnets. And then hook up the trailer to the prison bus. And then head out to Columbus, so we can make a couple hits at the other Hustlin' Horsepower Raceway in the morning to make sure we are in good shape. We did make a hit. Brand new tires on Straight Gangster. I got to give thank you to the guys at Outlaw Race Engines out of Phoenix, Arizona. They stock a lot of race parts and tires and this and that. And they helped us out with a set of tires for this weekend. So we got a new set of tires on it. And the first hit on a regular asphalt Mexico Raceway, I guess you could say. Yeah. We were about 2 to 3/10 off to the 330 with a brand new set of tires, no burnout, no nothing. So guys, that's not bad from where we need to be. It's, if I could pick it up another couple tenths to where that tune-up should be, we should be in pretty good shape for tomorrow. So we're gonna try to make that hit in the morning. I don't want to run it full out, but I did make a small adjustment to the crank trigger, space that out a little bit, give it a little bit more, a little bit larger air gap, because when those 58 teeth are flying through there at 7,000-8,000 RPM, if the tolerances are too close, the crank trigger has a hard time seeing the air gap in there. So we got to make sure that you have 30 thou or so in there. Make sure that sensor is going to read accurately, because it is not a magnetic sensor. it is reading 60 teeth, not just 4 teeth. Well, guys, I gotta say, I'm pretty freaking good. Boom! Not bad. Well, guys, it is 3:30 in the morning. We are parked here. We are about 5-10 minutes away from the track right now, at this rest stop. So, not a rest stop. It is a rest stop, but it's a pilot truck stop, I guess you could say. So, we're probably gonna make a couple test hits in the morning, first thing in the morning, as soon as the sun rises, in like 3 freaking hours. So it's time for me to get to bed. I gotta go over some of my notes, and I think we're on par. We just put the fresh set of tires on it, and the 330 was 0.2 of a second off from where it should have been, but that was no burnout, no nothing. So like, that's not too bad. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna have to look at the surface and see how good the surface is. From the videos I've watched previously to this event, I think it's gonna get pretty quick, but we got a pretty quick car. If I could make it 1 or 2 rounds, I should be able to get a pretty good handle on the new motor, on the new surface. But we're gonna see what happens. Worst of worst, we come out here and enjoy ourselves, have some fun, and have a good day of racing. 100 cars, small tire. See what happens. 6:45 a.m. update. Got the oil heater hooked up, charging the laptop, and it is a beautiful sunrise out here in Ohio. Guys, you can't go so far to only go so far, right? Like, that was a lot of freaking work, even though it shouldn't have been. It was a lot of work to get to here, and I can't let the last few hours potentially risk our chances at this race. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not showing up with the fastest car on the property, but I firmly believe with a couple hits on this car, with this motor, we should be able to be pretty close to one of the baddest cars on the property. But you gotta be able to get a couple passes, and you gotta be able to go a couple rounds, and that's gonna take a little bit of luck, a little bit of preparation, a little bit of past knowledge to try to get this car there. Just educated guesses, and a little bit of a hope and a prayer to see if we can make it a couple rounds. If we can make it a couple rounds, I believe that we have a car that could pull this off, but it is a challenge. Hey,
Come on.
is that our friends? The Pizza Kings?
Right.
Billy's all set up. We might just let this thing run for a little bit, let the AC get nice and cool, get ourselves a nice little nap, and since we only slept a couple hours. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be fabulous.
But
Assuming Miley stays asleep.
I'm not saying we're pulling in with a damn hot rod, but
It ain't a cold one.
damn goofball. I think we can agree with that. They ran pretty good. That's our Pizza King buddies.
You don't have a horn there, dude.
I know. I should have turned on the sirens on them. The circus is coming to town. The circus is here.
Speak for yourself.
Bro, you are the circus.
No.
I'm just the director of the circus. Let's go! Well, guys, I'm gonna get a little video together for you. It wasn't necessarily the best weekend we've ever had racing. I was pretty hopeful. The car did do pretty good on the street, but since I do have a 7-month-old child now, I wasn't gonna make a full hit at Hustling Horsepower Raceway. That's just not necessarily the smartest thing to do, right? So the car was running pretty good to the 330. The last hit we made was pretty freaking decent. So I felt that was plenty good with what this car back half's normally to go out there and win first round or have a very good car for first round. First round comes around, we were 27th pair left lane, and 27th pair left lane. 60 foot was off by a little bit. It was in the heat of the day. The race started at 1:30, so the track was starting to get pretty greasy. You got a mix of 25 different preps that people use, and when all those chemicals start mixing together, in my opinion, a water burnout is a better race, but it is what it is, right? Prep companies, they sponsor these events, and that's just the facts of it, right? So when all these different preps start getting mixed up with the sun and the hot temperatures, and the track temperature gets hot, they get very, very greasy. I wish I had a picture. I put my hand on the track and twisted it, and I pulled my hand up, and it was just black. And I was like, ooh, this ain't good. So we went about halfway out of the groove, where it was a little less greasy. 60 foot was a little bit off. Both lanes were bad. But Joey Lorak, he made a better pass than us. We definitely didn't make the worst pass of first round, but it definitely wasn't good enough. Our back half was a little over 2/10 off from where it should have been. I'm not 100% sure on that just yet. I did look at the data logs after we lost first round, but I probably didn't look at the data logs until like third round or something like that. And this is where it kind of sucks, right? We lost, and I wasn't even mad. And not that I get mad when I lose, but like I was almost emotionless, right? Because like it was just so much parts failures and this and that. The last couple months have been brutal. It's been hard. So I think I don't want to run this borrowed motor hard. Pour Your Own Puddle is in a couple weeks. There's a possibility I'll have my good motor together, my own personal motor back together, depending on how parts come about. So I do have to convert. I got to go through and convert this intake over to 16 injectors and build a top piece for it for plenum. I should probably buy another throttle body for that deal. But it's just money, right? I'd like to have the 88s on it for War in the Woods. That's not until end of September, but got to decide what I want to do exactly here. I'm just not exactly quite sure, to be honest with you. I want to make it to War in the Woods. I'd like to make it to Arm Drop Revival in Kentucky, but the Union race, $25,000 free entry race, is also that same weekend. That's early September. So 2 weeks is, in 2 weeks is Pour Your Own Puddle on the 19th. So I got some decisions to make depending on how and when pieces start coming together. Once all that stuff gets here, well, then it's not all that much work to put it together, but I should be able to have a short block together. Maybe by Monday or so, have the short block together. I have basically all the pieces for that. Right now, I'm working on getting the head studs out of the motor that got hurt at Dig or Die, because an aluminum head stud, see them on the threads down here, the coarse threads. An aluminum block, those threads are quite a bit longer. In a steel block, they're way shorter. So I got studs for 2 aluminum blocks, my new motor and that motor. So I'm taking all those head studs out. So I have them with me in case I have some head studs that are the wrong length for my new block. So I got crank rods, pistons, rings, bearings. Ross Racing Engines is going through and adding the extra hole in the top here for the extra head stud. I'll bring it back over here. These holes right here, Ross Racing Engines is putting those in there. I thought about drilling them myself, but those are on a 10-degree angle, offset from the cylinder head. So for the intake runner. So yeah, gonna piece all that together. I need to find a 4-inch crank for this motor here so I could put that back together. I have some extra rods. I have some extra pistons to throw in that motor. But that is a 10-tube motor, so I can't use this intake on the new motor. So eventually this motor will be, once it's all freshened up, it might be up for sale because I have 2 9.8 trick flow blocks. So it's just is what it is. I'm working on piecing everything together, but that's the problem that I'm facing right now. We have a good car, but I just don't have a full program together. And the program consists of, having a consistent crew member. Lady Gangster, she's not able to travel. She's taking care of MVP. That's her number 1 priority. So she's not able to travel to all these races. It's a lot of work. We don't have this prison bus converted yet. That makes it a little bit difficult. If I sell, I have a couple of things that I have up for sale right now. If one of those sell, I might trade one of those things for a stacker trailer. And then if that's the case, I will start the prison bus conversion this fall, in the next short while, once the new motor's done. But if not, I'll probably let the prison bus go and maybe get a living quarters trailer, since it is going to be me, myself, and I traveling to these bigger races that Lady Gangster's not able to travel to. And I'll just have to bring on a crew member for these individual races. That makes it additionally difficult because it needs to be a well-oiled machine to be able to compete at the highest, at your highest efficiency, I should say. Not that I don't want to say the highest level, but at your highest efficiency. To bring your best, you got to be consistent, and different crew members each week. That makes it a little bit difficult, but those are the factors that come in when you travel like we do, right? We sold the house a couple of years ago, and now that we travel, you don't have people that are willing to, I don't want to say willing, but it takes a lot for an individual to take their weekend off or take a long weekend, come to the race, so on and so forth, right? We're not a big money operation. We're not professionals, right? We don't have cash sponsors that we can in return pay for hotels and stuff like that for crew members, right? So there was a conversation that we had on a Facebook post recently that was Randy from Leash Electronics, a very good electronics company in the racing world. Big Chief Justin was on there, and I was commenting, and we were all talking about the positives of having one good, consistent crew member, but what it also takes to pay to have one good, consistent crew member if they are not your family, right? If they're not willing to travel with you a week in and week out, because it does take a lot. You don't eat good food at the track, right? Generally speaking, you work a lot. You're generally sweaty. You're hot. It's a lot of work to be able to race at a high level, and lack of sleep and a lot of work. It just takes a lot from a person to ask them to take some vacation days off of work to come work for free and bust their butt all day long, right? So I need to work on getting that aspect of the program in line, where we have a good place to stay, as far as like a living quarters trailer or converting the prison bus. That's important to me for my medical issues, because I only have so much energy, I guess you could say. Mentally I'm there, but physically, with my stomach issues and stuff like that, my Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, it takes a lot of energy at the track and stuff like that. So it's important for me to have the air conditioning and stuff like that at the track, not only for MVP and Lady Gangster when they come out to the race, but for myself, to make it a little bit easier on me. And along with being able to bring a crew member to the race and giving them a good place to stay and shower and so on and so forth. So I need to work on getting all those things in line, along with getting my spares in line. It's a lot to do. So that might mean we might have to be very, very picky on the races that we race in the next several months, so I could get all that stuff in line. I'd like to spend a solid month or so, or at least several weeks down south this winter to make sure this car is really good. I'll have all my good pieces together, hopefully. Parts willing. It's freaking difficult. The COVID stuff is still real, or at least the COVID excuses from companies are still real. I want to get all those pieces together and go down, find a track that I could do some testing on the front side and testing on the back side, so that early spring, late winter, we come out here and we could start hitting it hard, and we could have all of our pieces in line and have a good tow rig and everything like that to travel with. So guys, I appreciate all of you that like and subscribe to the journey, follow along. I got an engine build coming up here, probably early next week. Those videos will start coming out. We're gonna order up some stuff from Tin Soldiers Race Cars. I'll be doing that to Straight Gangster as well. And yeah, we're gonna be getting after it here pretty soon, as far as getting the car back up to snuff and figuring out what I gotta do, whether it's a living quarters trailer and the spool bus, or a stacker trailer again, which makes it a whole lot easier to do maintenance on the car, like way easier. And that would include the prison bus conversion. So we'll see what happens here. It's gonna be busy like always, but it might just not be a whole lot of racing over the next month or so, but we'll see. I love racing. I want to race. We got a good car, but I got to have all my ducks in line as far as parts and spare parts to be able to go out there and compete at the highest level, since generally speaking, third and fourth place don't get much of anything. So guys, we appreciate it. Catch y'all soon. Hey guys, I have a couple tunnel rams for sale and a 4 3/8 stroke crankshaft.